Hey, Branthony Kirk Huang Tano here, the internet's laziest music nerd. What up? Oh gosh. We're back, and we're talking about Coldplay today. Why? Because Coldplay's freaking good, I guess? The thing is that spring was hitting, and I was thinking about music that sounds good in the spring. And suddenly, it hit me, and I was like, I need to straight up obsess over Coldplay, listen to all their albums, rank them, and then put out a King Gizzard ranked video, but about Coldplay. That's right, they're called King Gizzard ranked videos, not album ranked videos. I think it's always better if you just jump into something, so I'm going to literally jump. We're gonna read my thoughts on every album. We're starting from the least liked and moving upwards towards the most liked. Down here at the bottom we have Parachutes. The second his voice starts singing, I want to go rabid and tear up all the pillows in my house with my teeth. It's an incredibly solid debut, and it deserves to be at the bottom because Coldplay goes nowhere but up. Next up, A Head Full of Dreams. I've seen the ape-themed music video for this one, which I loved because it reminded me of the Planet of the Apes films, which I love. So this is basically their Apes Together Strong album. Come on now. It's a really poppy, sort of jammy, happy album, which isn't a bad thing. We needed this. X and Y. This is the classic Coldplay album. This is what I jammed to back in 2013 when I listened to Coldplay and needed to feel some type of Coldplay way. It's a dark, moody 2005-ish feeling, but with beautiful melodies that you come to expect from a band named Coldplay that writes songs about Coldplays. The little repetitive guitar riff in White Shadows is so satisfying. Till Kingdom Come is also delightful. But what an ending on Fix You. Can we talk about that for a second? I am literally so fixed right now. I'm like a dog. I will never have children. Next up, and this one took me by surprise, but A Rush of Blood to the Head. More like a rush of bangers to my ears. Am I right, folks? Have y'all heard the song Warning Sign? The Scientist? It's blessed. Good music is here. What's up next? We are talking about Viva La Vida or Death and All His Friends. Specifically, I listened to the Prospects March edition, which included some extra songs. It's like a deluxe version. Now, as we all know, Viva La Vida, of course, stands for Viva La Vida. Anyways, back in the day, this was my least favorite Coldplay album, so listening to it this time, definitely things have changed. In the old days, I basically viewed this album as a one good song album, and yes, the one good song was the song from the Minecraft parody. But, I mean, that was a pretty good song. It was a pretty good Minecraft parody too, if we're being honest. I came at it in this new listen with fresh ears, and I absorbed it as a whole. And off the bat, folks, the song Lovers in Japan, Reign of Love, that has some bopping, slapping, punching piano on it, doesn't it? You've heard it. You know. Have you heard Violet Hill? Go and listen, and come back and talk to me, and say what's up, dude? Pretty nice day out today, huh? Unless you're having a terrible day out today. This is what I really like about this album. The revolutionary themes here, I was reading about it on Wikipedia, and they did a whole French Revolution theme the whole concert long. They brought out actual guillotines and beheaded real billionaires. I wish. It's very Les Mis. More revolutionary music, please, Coldplay. You could cover other revolutions. We have more. The song Prospects March, Poppy Fields is also gorgeous. Next up on the list is Ghost Stories. I could understand why a lot of people wouldn't like this album, but for me, it's really just banger after banger. To me, it's the most gorgeous Coldplay album of all time. This is what I've written here. Way back when I was a sad single boy who thought no one would ever love him, I would listen to True Love and experience an agony so sweet it could keep me going through the most painfully lonely days. Dang! I was one sad, lonely boy. That's so embarrassing to admit. What am I doing filming this? Why did I write that? Midnight is Coldplay at its most Imogen heap. It's a really good album. I don't care what anybody says. Take that and have it and deal with it. What's next on the list, you're probably wondering? Well, guess what? I am going to tell you. I would not stop the list at the top 3. That would be ridiculous. Everyday Life. I wrote a lot about this one, so I'm just going to read it. Probably the grandest, most important album they've made. It's addressing a lot of the horrors that take place in this modern time that we call home, with a classic poppy Coldplay twist. Why did I write that like that? Arabesque is delightful with heavy bass and horns. When I Need a Friend? Stop. That song is so goated. Guns is an amazing song. They pulled up to talk in this one. They're protesting the killing and the bloodshed and the racism and the absent fathers, and it all hits. And Champion of the World has such an incredible finale to it, and that leads us to the actual finale, which is the song Everyday Life. It made me think at one point, how is it that all of us, the people, can say we want peace, and yet somehow our leaders feel so comfortable saying they want war? How is it that they can pull the trigger? Who is pressing the button to fire the missiles that kill children? Why do we continue to cause all this suffering? If the answer is greed, then why do we still support a system like capitalism that rewards greed? Dang, I was cooking when I wrote that. Huh. Wow. I agree with myself. Big surprise. Everyday Life is, look, it's an excellent album. It's so weird because there's part of me that's listening to it and I'm like, this album doesn't even really get started until Arabesque, but also Arabesque hits so hard and there's like an entire album's worth of songs that play after that. It's big, it's beefy, it's delicious, it's got a lot of social commentary, which I like, and they're keeping it revolutionary, folks. I got a lot of respect for Coldplay. Coldplay is consistently putting actual thought and meaning into their lyrics. My sister shared with me that they're really focusing on making their tour environmentally friendly and cutting back on their emissions and their carbon footprint and stuff like that. And I love that. And I know they're not the only artist to do that. There was another artist I read about just recently who was also doing that. Who was it? I'm gonna take a guess and say it was Ellie Goulding. But if I'm wrong about that, I'll cut this out of the video so that nobody knows that I was wrong about that. But what's in second place? It's Mylo Xyloto. Mylo Xyloto or Mylo Xyloto. Whatever it is, it bangs. Because first of all, off the bat, with Hurts Like Heaven, you're gonna start with that banger? Are you sure about that, bro? Look, there's a reason that I was brutally obsessed with this back in 2013, and that is that it is so good. The drop at the start of Paradise, Every Teardrop is a Waterfall. That song, there was a line in Every Teardrop is a Waterfall where he says, from underneath the rubble, sing a rebel song. And when I heard it on this listen through, it made me weep uncontrollably. Oh my gosh, this album is too good. Who writes a line like that in a song where they're just like, I turned my music up, I got my records on? That's crazy. It does not let up. It does not stop. It does not give in. It stays on top. And now you've probably guessed what my top favorite, consider the best Coldplay album is, and it's their newest one, Music of the Spheres. How crazy is that their newest album is also their best in my personal eyes? What's the deal with this album, right? Why is it so good? Why is it such an experience? Heart Song, People of the Pride is a whole revolutionary anthem, even if it is a bit poppy and silly. I listen to My Universe, which is something I feel like I've heard in the background in stores and things like that a lot. Hearing it in my phones, fully surrounded by it, I was like just overwhelmed by how great that song actually is. Also, shout out to BTS for being the big feature on that one. They're goated, as always. And then the last song on this album that they hit you with, Colorature. This is Coldplay's magnum opus. I love a well-executed 10-minute song, and they have come forward and they have executed this 10-minute song well-ly. It almost feels like something from Pink Floyd. This is the kind of song, the kind of stunning creativity that I have been searching for always. I feel like we need more of this. When I was a big Pink Floyd Beatles fan, I was a real snob about music, and I was always saying, like, there's no modern artist who's doing it like Pink Floyd and the Beatles did. Literally, Coldplay just did it like that. So it's a bit silly for me to be such a snob. Why am I such a gosh dang snob, dude? There's nothing to make you not snobby like listening to Coldplay. Why would I try to rhyme that? So there you have it, folks. There is the ranking of Coldplay's albums. As you can see, they go from excellent to somehow even more excellent. And I think that everybody should be listening to Coldplay more seriously than they are. Because if you're not taking Coldplay seriously, get out of my life, basically. I hope that through this video you are motivated to go and listen to at least one Coldplay song. And I hope that it's Every Teardrop is a Waterfall. And I hope that you sit there like me and you just think. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for viewing. Oh, I'm really bad at outros, but I'm really good at ending the video right now. Dang it, I'm not good at that either. But please, do subscribe, like, comment, whatever you want to do, really. It's all good. Have a good day. Have a good time. And goodbye also. Yes, wow, okay.